Welcome back. And we discussed one more problem on unbalanced transportation problem in the topic. So this is the topic unbalanced transportation problem, in which you have to calculate first some of the availabilities and some of the requirements. After that, if they are equal, it is balanced. If they are not equal, it is unbalanced. That's all. So now we come and calculate 60, 70 and 80, 150, 60, 210. So sum of the availability, summation I is equal to 1 by m AI is equivalent to be 150, 210. Yeah, 210. And sum of the requirements, summation j is equal to 1 by m Bj is equivalent to be 50, 70 and 60. So 120, 180. It is 180. So therefore they are not equal. So that is summation Ai is not equal to summation Bj, hence it is an unbalanced transportation problem. What we have to do? We have to add a dummy origin and a dummy destination, whichever required. You see here, some of the availability is more, some of the requirement is less. So therefore, summation Ai minus summation Bj is equal to 210 minus 180. It is nothing but 30. So therefore, with the remaining requirement 30, which is nothing but to balance it, it is enough. This is what the balance required, 30. So remaining requirement 30, that is a 30 quantity, we have to create a dummy destination now. That is a dummy column, and so that it will be equal. Some of the availability, some of the requirements which will be equal. So therefore, what I am creating 60, 70, 80. So I write here 60, 70, 80. So therefore, I am creating one more destination with the requirement 30 and introduce cost 0 to all the cells in that particular column. Introduce 0. The cost is 0. Because there is no quantity supposed to be transported. We are not supposed to transport a single quantity from this particular dummy destination. You call let it be D4. D4 is a dummy destination. So with this from this dummy destination, no particular requirement it is supposed to get from another particular origin. So therefore, there is no question of transporting, just is only used for the calculation. So to get the solution only we are using this dummy destination, that's all. Whatever the calculations we do, that is only for the purpose of getting the solution, that's all. Optimum solution. This is not at all going to be used, that's all. Right? So therefore now I start the solving the problem, that is transportation problem, by using either UV or MODI method. Because if you get the degeneracy, we use MODI method, or else otherwise it is a UV method, that's all. Okay, whenever I write UV or MODI, it makes no difference, right? So it is same. So only the difference is if you observe degeneracy, you have to use MODI method, that's all. So to calculate the MODI method, we have calculated first of all, we have examined the summation Ai and summation Bj, whether they are equal or not. They are not equal, therefore it is an unbalanced transportation problem. And now it is required to introduce a dummy origin or destination, because some of the requirements are less than some of the availability, therefore we have introduced a dummy destination with the remaining requirement 30, so that they are equal, right? This is what we did. Thereafter, what you have to calculate is, you have to use one of the method and calculate the initial solution. To calculate initial solution, I am using VAM. I am writing here using VAM, I am calculating initial basic feasible solution. So calculate the penalties first and calculate the initial solution. So 3 minus 0, it is 3. This 3 minus 0 again, smallest and next to smallest. It is also 3 minus 0, it is also 3. And 8 minus 3, it is 5. And 7 minus 3 it is 4, smallest and next smallest. 5 minus 3 it is 2, 0 minus 0 it is 0. So among all the penalties, the highest penalty is 5. It corresponds to this particular column, in which the minimum cost is 3. So allocation is going to be made here in this particular cell. So availability is 70, requirement is 50, allocate 50, and requirement was finished, satisfied. So hence cancel the first column, and the remaining balance here 20. So prepare the next table. I am preparing the next table here, and so that it will be clear. It is O1, O2, O3. There are 3 particular origins are there, and one destination was cancelled, D2, D3, and D4 dummy is also there. Now we have to create another particular table, and with the help of the remaining cost and all, 7, 3, 0, 8, 9, 0, and 3, 5, 0. These are the costs available for the remaining next table, and availability is 60, 20, 80, requirement 70, 60, 30. These are the requirements, and now we have to again calculate the penalties. Calculate the penalties. 3 minus 0, smallest and next smallest 3. Again 8 minus 0, smallest 0 and next smallest is 8. So hence it is 8. Next 3 minus 0, 3. Next come over here. 7, 3 is 4. And 3, 5 it is 2, and 0, 0. 0 minus 0, 0. So therefore highest penalty is 8, corresponding to this particular row, second row. 8, 9, 0 the cost, the minimum cost is 0. Hence allocate the quantity here as much as possible quantity. 20 and 30. See 20 and 30. So minimum is 20. It is at the origin 2. So therefore cancel that the origin, because second row, because the entire availability is exhausted. The availability at origin 2 is exhausted, therefore cancel that, and remaining balance here 10. Okay, and now you consider another next transportation table. I am considering here the next transportation table. It is the transportation table which consists of O1, O3, and with the remaining requirements, and the destinations are D2, D3, and D4. And what I consider here, again the cost here 7, 3, 0, and the cost in the last row 3, 5, 0, and the corresponding availabilities are 60 and 80, and requirements are 70, 60, and the one more requirement it is 10. So 60 plus 10, 70, 140, okay, right. So therefore now we have to go and again consider the calculate the penalties here. The penalties 3 and 0 it is 3, and 3 and 0 is again 3, 7 and 3 it is 4, 3 and 5 is 2, and 0 and 0 it is 0. And now you see here, this is what now that we have to calculate again the largest penalty. Consider the largest penalty is 4 here in this particular row, in this particular column, I'm sorry, and the column in this column you have to consider the smallest cost, which is 7 and 3, the smallest cost is 3. You have to allocate the next allocation in this particular cell, that is the quantity here 70 and 80, 80 and 70, the minimum is 70, and allocate 70, and then cancel, because requirement at destination D2 is satisfied, therefore cancel this, and then remaining balance here 10. So this is what the next, prepare the next transportation table. While considering this, I am preparing the next transportation table. So it is D3, D4. Origins are O1, O2, and costs are 30, 50, and availabilities are 60, 10. Requirements are again 60, 10. Right? So these are what the availabilities and requirements in remaining next transportation table. So in which again now we have to calculate the penalties. 3 minus 0, 3. 5 minus 0 is 5. 5 minus 3, 2, it is 0. Consider the maximum penalty, highest penalty, it is 5. The corresponding to this particular row. In this row, the minimum cost is 0, 5 and 0, minimum cost is 0. So now the allocation is going to be made here, 10 and 10, you allocate one 10, that both are same, that is tie occurs. Therefore, you cancel one, either row or a column, but not both. Either row or a column, but not both. That is what required here. So I am cancelling this particular row, and here the balance is 0. Then I am preparing the next table. The next table is nothing but only one particular row remains, which is 3 and 0, and which is what 60 here, 60 and 0 here. Here it is O1, D3, D4, which are remain. So in which what you have to allocate 0 and 60. So here 60, here 0. So but 0 is not a basic cell, it's not an allocation, because no particular quantity is going to be transported from one origin to another destination. Therefore 0 is not at all quantity, 0 is not at all basic cell. It is not an occupied cell. That is what you have to remember. So basic on that, this is what the solution. Therefore all rim requirements are satisfied. 60 and 60 both are satisfied. So therefore all rim requirements are satisfied. Now we have to go and consider a transportation table where you have to allocate all these initial basics, values of the initial basic feasible solution. So whenever after finishing the any calculation of initial basic feasible solution, once the initial basic feasible solution by any method was discovered, was found, then we have to go on to consider a transportation table in the UV method. Now the transportation table in the UV method or a MODI method, we have to consider the transportation table, and we have to do we have to allocate all the allocations. So therefore I am starting the allocations in the transportation table now. So here here I prepare a transportation table which consists of, for example, O1, O2 and O3. I prepare a big transportation table which requires everything, which needs to specify all the calculations. Therefore I am preparing a transportation table which will be very clear of considering the values to appearing every particular calculation in the table. I am preparing the table clearly and most visibly. This is called dummy. And I am preparing here U1 is equal to U2 and U3, because 3 origins and 4 destinations. V1 here, the values Ui and Vj I am specifying here to calculate. And then now I am representing the values of cost 8730, 730, these are all zeros, and 389, and the next one 1135. Okay, so this is the transportation table I have prepared, in which I have to write and furnish all the values of initial solution. Come and consider from one table to another table. So this is x21, it is 50, x21 is what the value 50 into 3, and then come to the next table. This is what the next table, transportation table 2. This is 24, 20. And come to the next table. This is what the next table, 70, 32, 32. It is 70. This is what 70, 32. The cost 3. Okay, right? So and then come to the next table and take the value 24. It is 10. 24. It is 10. O2. So this is what the 20. The table 2, O1, O3. This is what? It is O1, it is O3. This is not a 2, it is 3. It is 3. You see here, this is O1 and this is O3. Therefore, this is the 10, this is 3, 4. It is the value 10 belongs to in the cell 3, 4, cell 3, 4. Therefore, this is x34. Is the value 10. So because you see here second origin cancel, therefore O1, O3. So and then remaining value 60 and 0. X13, this is 13. x13 is this is this one 60, and this is what 0, but of course I am not writing because it's not a basic cell, it's not a quantity. How many are there? 1 2 3 4 and 5. 1 2 3 4 5. Finished. Now what you have to allocate, you have to calculate. This is what the initial solution by VAM. So we have to consider this is table 1 of UV method. This is table 1, which means this is what the UV method. Now we are applying the UV method in the calculation of the optimum solution. We are calculating the optimum solution by using UV method. We have finished first 2 steps, 3 steps. The first step is whether we have checked whether the summation A is equal to summation Bj. If not, we have to introduce dummy orthogonal destination, and then calculating the initial basic feasible solution. Calculating the initial basic feasible solution. Now we are in the third step. What is the third step? The third step is nothing but here we have to examine the number of basic cells. How many number of basic cells must be there? M plus n minus 1. What is m? 1, 2, 3 plus n 4 minus 1 6. So therefore 6. Now you observe how many number of basic cells are there. How many number of basic cells which are available in the problem in the initial basic feasible solution, that is in the first table of the transformation problem in the UV method. So on this one, you observe here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 only. That is 5 is less than, number of basic cells are less than m plus minus 1 is equal to 6. So therefore, it is a problem of degeneracy. So it is a problem of degeneracy. So which means degeneracy, which means we are applying Modi method. So we have to apply Modi method. So we have to apply Modi method, in which what we have to do first, we have to allocate the quantity epsilon, which is exactly tending to 0, approximately 0, a small positive quantity epsilon. It is tending to the value 0. We have to consider and we have to allocate at one particular minimum cost non-basic cell, which should provide all UIVJ values, which should give all UIVJ values. That's all the procedure. So you allocate epsilon in the non-basic cells having minimum cost. Consider the non-basic cells 8, 7, cost are, I am looking at the cost 0, 11, 8, 9, 11, 5. So minimum cost is 0. Here you allocate epsilon. If UIVJ values have not been determined, then you have to change the value of epsilon from that particular cell. That is what the procedure. Until and unless you get the all UIVJ values have been determined or to be calculated until and unless you have to calculate all these values, this particular value is going to be considered. Okay, so only so that epsilon is going to be considered, so that all UIVJ values have been determined. It is which are to be calculated. That's all. There is no particular other rule. So otherwise you shift this particular epsilon to another particular next minimum cost and then in the non-basic cells, among the non-basic cells, right? So therefore, why first of all we check it. Consider u1 is equal to 0 and calculate all UIVJ values. So this is one basic cell, therefore it is 0. This is another basic cell, therefore it is 3. Again now you consider this is a basic cell, so hence it is 0. 0 plus 0, hence it is another basic cell, 0 plus 3. So then you consider again this is another basic cell, 0 plus 0, and this is another basic cell, this is the value of 3. So all UIVJ values have been determined. So therefore now consider, after calculating all UIVJ values by using the formula Ui plus Vj is equal to Cij through the basic cells, next we have to calculate net evaluations Zij minus Cij for all non-basic cells. Zij minus Cij formula Ui plus Vj minus Cij. So consider non-basic cells. This is one non-basic cell, 3 plus 0, minus 8, minus 5, and write within the parentheses. So 0 plus 3 minus 7, minus 4, and next one is non-basic cell, 0 plus 3, minus 8, minus 5, 3 plus 0, 0, 3, 0 plus 3 minus 9, minus 6, and this is another non-basic cell. 0 plus this is 0, ui is 0, vj is 3, 0 plus 3, 3 minus 11, minus 7, minus 8, not 7, and this is 0 plus 3 minus 5, minus 2. After calculating, all net evaluations have been determined. Now after calculating net evaluations, what you have to do? We have to observe the sign of Zij minus Cij, all net evaluations, minus, 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 minus. So if all Zij minus Cij less than or equal to 0, the current solution is optimum solution. The current solution is an optimum solution. So therefore, we can stop this procedure because optimum solution is obtained. So since all Zij minus Cij is less than or equal to 0, is less than or equal to 0, since all Zij minus Cij is less than or equal to 0, the current solution is optimum solution. Therefore, I am writing the two particular points, the optimum basic feasible solution. Optimum basic feasible solution. Feasible solution. Of course, optimum value will be given in the minimum cost. Okay? Optimum basic feasible solution, which the values of x13 is equal to 60. That is the first value. This is 21. 21 is equal to 50. x22, not 22, x24. Of course, it is a dummy value. It is x24 is equal to 20. It's a dummy. You write it's a dummy. So it is cannot be considered in the solution. Next one. x32 is equal to 70. Is equal to 70. Next one. Of course, it is not, is also in dummy. It is x34. x34 is also dummy. It is dummy. That is, no quantity is supposed to transport. No quantity is going to be transported from here 10 and 20. 30 units are not going to be transported from any origin to any destination, because there is no particular quantity is available actually in the given problem. So therefore, that is what you have to consider. You have to rethink about it. The values are not going to be supposed to be considered. So the next one, the minimum cost, the minimum total transportation cost. Total transportation cost. Z is equal to V. You know the formula? Some double summation Xij, Cij, Xij are 60 into 3 plus 50 into 3 plus 20 into 0. Of course, it is a dummy value, so it is a no need to consider. And 70 into 3 plus again 10 into 0. It is also not to be considered. One more is epsilon. Epsilon is 0. That's also not to be considered. Epsilon into 0 is epsilon. 0. I'm sorry. 0. So 180, 150, 180. It is 150 and 7 3 is 240. I calculate. 180 plus 150 plus 210 is equal to 540. So the value is rupees 540. This is what the calculation you have. And the minimum total transportation cost is 540 rupees. That is optimum solution. This is also optimum solution. The optimum solution, optimum basic feasible solution, optimum value is, minimum cost is 540 rupees, and which is taking at the value x13, x21 and x32. That's all. 70, 50, 120, 180. That's all. Remaining the units cannot be transported. So this is what the problem of another kind of problem of unbalanced transportation problem, which we have solved here. I hope you have understand well. This is what the kind of two kinds of unbalanced transportation problems we have examined, and we have calculated the solution for those problems. I hope you understand. Thank you.